Alright guys, just a little disclaimer, I did forget to film an intro for this video. I don't know how I forgot. So we're just going to jump right into the makeup tutorial, and I do have a friend on my cheek for this whole video. So it's going to be there until I cover it up, so don't get scared, but let's get on with the tutorial. To prime our eyelids, I'm going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and I'm just going to place that all over the lids and then blend it out with my finger. And I'm also going to set my concealer using the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I'm just going to place that all over the lid. Then I'm going to be putting some Scotch tape on the sides of my eyes just to make this look a lot more sharper. Once the tape is on, I am going to go in with my Morphe 350 palette, and I'm going to be grabbing this brown orangey shade, and I'm just going to use this with my Sigma E40 brush. I'm going to blend this all over the crease, really intensifying it on the outer crease and then blending it in towards the front of my eye. Once that's all blended out, I'm going to go back into my Morphe 350 palette, and I'm going to grab this maroon kind of color on a more precise Morphe brush, and I'm going to use this to carve out my crease. Once my crease is carved out with this color, I'm going to go ahead and blend it into the crease color using my Sigma E35 brush, I believe it is, and then I switch onto my MAC 217 brush. So I'm just blending it out back and forth, just within the outer part of my crease. To intensify the outer corner some more, I'm going to grab Fudge by Anastasia Beverly Hills on an angled brush, and I'm just going to use that to create that outer crease a lot more precisely, and then I'm going to blend it out with my Sigma brush, and I'm just going to blend it out, making sure that I'm focused just on the outer part of my eye. I'm also going to take Fudge and bring that on the lower outer part of my eye, because this is a smoky eye, so we're not just doing a cut crease. So I'm going to place that and smoke it out on the lower part of my eye as well. Moving on to the lid, I'm going to be using NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and I'm going to place this all over my lids and then blend it out with like a small little smudger brush, making sure that it's spread out evenly so that it doesn't make the eyeshadow that we place on top tacky or anything. So once that is blended out evenly, I'm going to go in with Anastasia's eyeshadow in Metallic. I'm going to grab this on a flat shader brush and just place it all over where I place the Milk Jumbo pencil, and I'm making sure to use swiping motions, but when I get to the part where it's like more smoked out, I'm just going to tap it on. It's going to help with the blending. Then I'm going to grab this champagne color from the Morphe 350 palette, and I'm going to place that right on top of the metallic color that we placed. And then I'm going to go in with Noir from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and I'm going to use this to really intensify the outer part of my eye, because I wanted this to be very smoky, but more of like an ombre smoke, not like just a complete dark outer part of the eye. So I'm going to slowly intensify that, and then I grab the metallic shade again just to kind of pop it on top of the black because it was getting a little harsh, so you can always do that just to blend it out. Then I'm going to go back in with Fudge, and I'm going to use that to really blend out the outer part of my eye so that it's not too harsh. For eyeliner, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Eyestudio Gel Liner in Blackest Black, and I'm going to be using this liner to create a very tiny wing. I'm sorry I didn't have more footage, but I got way out of the frame, so this is all that I got. For lashes, I'm going to be using the Kiss Lashes in So Wispy, and for mascara, I'm using the Mimi Box Dual Mascara just to clump my lashes with the falsies. Moving on, I'm going to highlight my brow bone using this white shade from the Morphe 350 palette. I'm just going to pack that onto my brush and then highlight my brow bone, and then kind of just go back in and blend out the crease color because you don't want to lose it. And I also suggest kind of taking off the stickiness of the tape a lot more before you put it on your eyes, because this was so hard to take off. But this is the final look once you take off the tape. Moving on to the face, I'm going to go in with my Cedaphil moisturizing cream just to moisturize my skin and prep it for foundation. And then for primer, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Magic Lumi primer, and I'm just going to place this all over my face. And then to hide my pores, I'm going to be using my Benefit Porefessional primer, and I'm just going to place this in the areas where my pores are really bad. And I just like to use patting motions. Then to cover up my scarring, I'm using my MAC Select Cover Up in NC25. And I'm just placing it with my fingers and also blending it out with my fingers, just kind of dabbing on the scar or the pimple. Then for foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and this is in the shade 103, I believe. I'm going to place that all over my face and then just blend it out with my Real Techniques complexion sponge. Once that's all blended out, I'm using my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder just to set my whole entire foundation. And once that's set, I'm going to go ahead and conceal my under eyes using my Makeupforever HD Concealer in the shade Y23. So I'm just going to place it under my eyes, and then I'm going to blend it out using this Morphe brush. And then eventually I switched to my Real Techniques small stippling brush, because for some reason when I was trying to blend it out with my Real Techniques sponge, it was taking the product off and it was like showing my redness. It was really weird. That's never happened to me before, so I had to blend it out with my stippling brush. Moving on, I'm going to be using this HD Graftobian palette, and I'm going to be using the lighter shade to highlight under my eyes, my forehead, and the bridge of my nose, and a little bit around my chin area. And then to contour, I'm going to be using the bronzer shade, and I'm just going to contour my forehead and the hollows of my cheeks. And I'm going to blend this out using my Real Techniques sponge and also a e.l.f. stippling brush. To set all the areas that I highlighted, I'm going to be using my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm just going to quickly set my under eyes and my forehead and kind of in my jaw area. And then once that is on, I'm just going to take it right off. I'm not really going to bake or anything because I didn't really have a long day ahead of me, so I didn't need my foundation to last that long. To set my contour, I'm going to go in with my Lorac Pro Palette, and I'm going to be using this really like taupe shade to really carve out my cheekbones, and then the medium shade to just bronze up my face, like around my cheek and my forehead area. Once that's all blended out, I'm going to go in with my NYX Liquid Illuminator in Born to Glow, and I'm just going to place this on the tops of my cheeks to prep for the powdered highlight. And for highlight, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit, and I'm just going to mix these two shades together. I believe it's Sunburst and Dripping in Gold. And I'm just going to use my Morphe fan brush to highlight my nose and the tops of my cheeks and also my Cupid's bow. For blush, I'm using this e.l.f. blush palette, and I'm using the first light shade, and I'm just going to place that on my cheeks between the highlight and the contour, and then just blend it out with a stippling brush. To smoke out my lower lash line a bit more, I'm going to go back in with the Anastasia palette, and I'm using the shades Morocco and Fudge, and I'm just going to quickly kind of like smoke out my lower lash line. For mascara, I'm going to go in with the other side of the dual mascara, and I'm just going to use that for my lower lashes. And then I'm going to use the Pink Champagne color by Anastasia Beverly Hills to highlight my inner corner, or my inner tear duct. Then for this look, I used a couple of lipsticks. The first one that I used was a NYX Lingerie lipstick in Teddy. Then I went over that lipstick with Pure Hollywood by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And then to make it a little bit glossy, I used the Butter Gloss lip gloss in Tiramisu. But once the lipstick is on, the look is complete. I hope you all enjoyed this makeup tutorial. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!